soccer team. And by Kodak Max Film. It's all you need to know about film. Back in Chicago, you're looking at the USA starting goalkeeper, Scurry. She's been #1 with this team since 1994, working on 5 shutouts so far this season. Our starting line being brought to you by Chevy.
Captain Carla Overbeck in the backfield. She'll be the leader out there. Look for her to organize the defense all day long. And in the midfield, Michelle Akers. She'll look to change the point of the attack from her defensive midfield position every time she touches the ball. And up top, Tiffany Milbrett is absolutely on fire. She has had 5 goals and 5 assists in the last 2 games that she has played in. Now, this is how the U.S. will come out. They'll start in a 4-3-3 formation. One thing we need to keep an eye out for is Cindy Parlow and Christine Lilly may actually flip-flop a little bit in order to provide some variation in the lineup.
On the opposite side for Holland, you're looking at the inexperienced Martine van Pelt. This is only her 2nd full international. In her first one, she shut out France. Here's their lineup.
Holland will also come out in a 4-3-3 formation. Now, a familiar face to many viewers and definitely to the North Carolina program is number 8, Serena Wiegman. She was in her freshman year at North Carolina. She won a national championship with 2 other freshmen, Mia Hamm and Christine Lilly. She's the captain, and she is the most experienced player on their team.
All set for action here at Soldier Field. Holland in the orange and white, taking over on the kickoff, USA in all white. Rich Grady is the man in the middle from Major League Soccer, calling this one. This is the first of a doubleheader today. The Chicago Fire and Colorado Rapids will be playing in the 2nd match here. Immediate throw in for the Dutch side. Played the other night, lost to the USA 5-0, but it was only 1-0 at halftime, and then the USA scored 4 times in 17 minutes to take them apart. Off that long throw by Migchelsen. USA collects 11 is Foudy. Playing it wide to Joy Fawcett on the right. Hamm coming back, chasing that world record. Needs 1 to tie, 2 to break it. This portion of the match is being brought to you by Chevy as Chastain takes it on the left side. Broken up. Tony DeChico talked about unforced errors yesterday. That was one right there he wants to cut down on it.
Well, that's an area that the team and the coaching staff has critiqued as an area of needed improvement. What he's talking about is that pass, you could see it was very telegraphed by Brandy Chastain. She needs to maybe provide a little deception, and the forward won't be able to read it so well.
Tony DeChico, head coach of the USA national team. We've got a great halftime feature coming up on Tony, if you keep it here. On his 2 families, if you will. Here's Sobrero, number 20 for the USA. All the way back. USA settling. Played long by Overbeck. It deflects. Chastain makes the good run on the wing. Brandy Chastain with a cross in the air. Too high. Hamm went flying through, looking for the record tire.
Here, we'll take a look. This is the run in the box by Hamm. She gets up over her defender and heads it down and actually back to in the direction that it came from, which is a very good technical decision. It was just a little high. The brilliant serve by Brandy Chastain, but just a little too high for Mia's run.
She's in sync right now after going 8 games without a goal. She scored in her last 2. To the right side, it's knocked down for Foudy. Holland will get it. Turning it around, Griffioen, number 10. Holland's only made a couple of changes from the starting lineup that they had on Thursday. One is Noom up front. The other is the goalkeeper, Van Pelt. Number 1 goalkeeper, actually. He was very good. Lucina Wissing went back to play for a club side in Germany. They're contesting for the championship. Overbeck will swing it to the right. Fawcett and Foudy. Noom will chase. Akers is wide open. Everybody back on their side of the halfway line, though, for Holland there. That's why Akers had all that room. Milbrett, 16, finding Mia Hamm, and she's found right away by a defender. Foul, and then a free kick for the USA. Mia Hamm will take it. She's been with this USA squad since she's been a teenager, age 15, the youngest to ever play for the U.S. team, female or male. Lilly's going to run over the ball as Hamm sends it in low, and then it rises on a driving ball. All the way to the end line, it's cleared away. Berger knocked it out. Be a USA throw-in. Well, Mia must feel the pressure. Everybody keeps asking about the goals, but she's got to feel better right now that she's out of that slump.
Well, she definitely has emerged, and she's in a breakout period, and you know, it takes a lot of pressure off of her.
Akers on the turnaround. Foudy was there, but it's deflected away by number 9, Goudena. Picked up on the left side. Foudy from Chastain. Julie Foudy drives it across. Parlow was making a great run right down the middle, but the ball didn't get to her.
Well, that was a very good defensive play by Holland there. If they hadn't been there to cover that spot, Cindy Parlow would have definitely been in 1v0 with the keeper.
Carla Overbeck in that hit. And Rich Grady is not giving out a card, it seems, but he did call for the training staff to come out. No card for Overbeck. This team has very few cautions this year, but they do play physical.
Well, they do, but they're not a nasty team in the way they're dealing out their, you know, physicalness. But I would say that's probably
that's a card.
She clocked her. If Carla's coming up to win that ball, she's got to do something to try and win the ball, and that's actually a criticism that Coach Chico has had recently on her. She's got to go up and win those balls.
This player, Noom, has been injured the last couple of years, and that's cost her a spot on this national team. The last 4 years, they say she's been healthy for half of that time.
Well, they need her on the field because she's got an amazing 23 goals in 47 games, which is an amazing statistic. So they've got to have her healthy and have her out on the field in order to take this team to the next level.
Akers on it. The game is just 5 minutes old here in Chicago on a gorgeous day. 72 degrees today. It's 20 degrees warmer than it was the other night in Milwaukee. Pepsi brings you this portion of the match, and now Rich Grady calls that one. Christine Lilly. Chicago is one of her home bases. Now she's living in Florida, training with the team, but she's from Wilton, Connecticut, and does live in Chicago as well. Scurry will put it back in play. Christine Lilly always there in the starting lineup. Since she's been on this team, you look at the minutes, but she's only missed some 9 games throughout her career, and that wasn't because of injury. Sometimes just she was rested.
That is absolutely stunning. You're right, JP. It's not because she's hurt and not able to, you know, to start in a given game or play in a given game. She is an amazing team, and I think, in my opinion, the most complete player for the U.S. and probably the most underrated player in the world.
All the way back, this is Sobrero. Left side for Chastain, who can play just about anywhere on this field. Akers on the touch. Julie Foudy holds right at the halfway line. Foudy's pass. Hamm turning back. And then Hamm is wide open right now in his space, but they don't find her. It's not on, so the USA will switch for Chastain. Intended for Parlow, and that comes back, and you see how far back Parlow now has drifted. We talked about that at the top.
Well, they're playing in a very condensed area of the field because the Holland team has definitely they've pushed back across into their defensive half, and they're playing a bit of a bunker, so to speak, and they're trying to get back and play good team defense.
Holland knows that individually they must play better defensively, and as a team they must if they're to do better today. He's measuring their progress. He's not expecting to beat the United States, but he does want to see progress. They've got a tough schedule they've been playing, and it will only make them better.
Well, he has a good blend of veterans and young players, and actually there's only 4 players on this squad, and those are the most capped players that he has not selected himself since he's been at the helm of the team. But he believes that the only way to get them physically and mentally prepared is to play the best teams in the world, and you can tell by their schedule that's exactly what they've been doing.
Next week they'll take on Norway. Number 9 is Goudena, playing it back. Van Tol clears. Overbeck and Noom are there in the collision. Akers picks up the loose ball. Akers spinning in the 8th minute. All the way right to Fawcett. Foudy on the touch back. USA right now looks like they're playing 3 in the back the way they've switched the formation. And Sobrero has come over more to the middle. They rotate though very well, so it's hard to tell sometimes. Now Fawcett has drifted back as the ball is knocked out of play. So they've rotated well, and that's one of the things Tony DeChico has liked about this team. Right,
and what he's referring to from that standpoint, especially on defensive, on the defensive scenario, is that you got to make sure the outside defender is getting back and providing cover on defense.
Pelt will take it over. She's only 20 years old. She played against the USA in a 1-1 draw in an under-20 international, under-21 international back at the Nordic Cup in Holland.
From what we've found out, she's definitely the future of in the net for this national team. So this is a great cap and a great experience for her to get.
She and 7 of her teammates are under 21 internationals, so they're starting young and bringing them up to a full squad, trying to make an impact. Chastain. See the congestion in that area as Holland tries to defend against the USA, and they actually almost won the ball, but that advantage call the USA continues, and now it's knocked out of play.
Not surprising to me that player battling with Michelle Akers was number 8, Serena Wiegman. She played her freshman year at UNC and is a tough player. She's the most capped player, most experienced player. You know she's going to try and make a statement very early on in the midfield.
Off that foul, there'll be a restart coming up for the United States. Tiffany Milbrett on fire for the USA.
There's Serena there. You can see her kind of pointing around trying to get her team organized.
Mia Hamm is coming over to take this free kick. This is where Tony DeCicco wants to improve on free kicks from about 30 yards or so out. Mia could strike them from here. So can't Michelle Akers.
And as well, let's keep our eye on the back post. Both Akers and Parlow with their height are in the box.
Hamm was passing, not shooting from there, but it's cleared away. Sobrero, number 20, out of Notre Dame. Stripped on the near side. She'll get it back. Stayed with it. Milbrett trying to find the open player. That's Parlow. And that ball is out of play. We've got Rob Stone down on the sidelines. Let's go downstairs. Rob?
One of the things head coach Tony DeCicco wanted from his side today was to cut down on some unforced errors in their possession front. And the Dutch, with the defense they're playing right now, is pretty much allowing the U.S. to knock it around at their will. So what coach Tony DeCicco wants the team to do is look for the second run and also to hit some balls diagonally to kind of break up the Dutch defense, float it over the defenders, and run in from there.
Rob, great points. That ball, we'll look to see if, you know, that could come from anywhere, really. It could come from Overbeck in the backfield, but you're right. Try and flood the zones on the backside. So if the ball's on the right side of the field, they'll look to serve the ball over the defense and try and get the defense before they can turn and get set.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Kodak as the USA attacks on the right. Fawcett double teamed, and Rich Grady blows a halt to that play. Joy Fawcett, considered the best right back in the world, and some will say the best defender in the world. One of 2 moms on the team, Carla Over being the other. Getting a lot of publicity these days for them, the nannies, the husbands, everybody. Husbands are, I guess, their biggest fans. All set for the free kick on the far side.
9.15 meters.
USA will bend this one in off the left foot, right to that far post. And it goes out of play. There'll be a goal kick coming up. Tiffany Milbrett, 5 goals, 5 assists in her last 2 games. She didn't play in our last televised game against Japan. They rested her. But boy, Hamm has helped her get some space and some success. And the more she succeeds, the more space Hamm will eventually get.
Exactly. With Mia Hamm going for this world scoring record, teams, I mean, it's a pride issue. They don't want, the opponents do not want to be the team that, you know, she gets that record or ties the record against. So they're definitely doubling up. And now if you double up on Hamm, you leave somebody else open, you know, namely Milbrett, and they've done that in 2 games. She's incredibly productive and so explosive. She, in the last game against Holland, she won that game on her own. She was involved in every single goal.
Fawcett with a pass, and it's picked off. 5 on height. Overbeck chesting it down on the cut. That's picked off. Foudy will chase it, even though Holland talked about playing with 3 players up front. That's really not what we're seeing. We may see it later, but we're not seeing it now. They've got 1 striker up there, and they're playing in more of a defensive style. USA holding. On their side of the halfway line, it's Akers. Michelle right at the halfway line, finding Foudy, the quick touch. Back to the halfway line. It's picked up there by Sobrero, who had speed and physical play to the back. Overbeck drives it. Good ball on that right side. Tiffany Milbrett going wide, trying to get around the defender. That looked like a hip check as that ball went out of play. Milbrett is down. It's going to be the USA's ball. Van Eyck was there in the neighborhood. Who says the women's game is not physical? Not you or I.
No, that's right. We know better.
5th foul right there on Holland. The USA with just 1. It'll be a free kick coming up for the United States with Milbrett after it.
We'll see how the U.S. does to, you know, see if they're productive on this serve in the box, because the defenders for Holland were probably scouting the last game. Don't want Milbrett to turn the corner.
Chastain missed. Chastain, second time scores. 1-0 US.
which is very tough for the defense to get set on. Now, Chastain does a good job to scrap to win it. And what I love about that is she hits the ball up high. Very, very difficult for the keeper to save. Here's another look at the bend on that ball. Absolutely beautiful. But what's even greater is that Chastain keeps scrapping and sticks it in the net.
Yesterday, Tony DeCicco talked about free kicks, the second service. If something happens the first time, to stay with it. And that's what happened there, so he's got to love that.
Right. He said that they've been a little too casual in their organization on those serves that have come back into the box.
So Chastain gets credit for the goal. Her 19th international goal. Let's have more from Rob Stone on the sideline. Rob?
One of the things Coach DeCicco is talking about on the sidelines right now is changing the point of attack. He's also changing his lineup. A little tweak to it that he mentioned in the meeting with you guys yesterday. He pulled Cindy Parlow back from the forward slot and exchanged her with Christine Lilly, who just had a little flick on right there. So Lilly basically playing a forward now, CP in the middle of the midfield.
Now what this does for the U.S. is just gives them kind of a different variation in the lineup. Both players are comfortable in the respective positions. Christine Lilly actually went up top, and she's played up top almost her entire college career, so she loves that there. And Cindy Parlow was actually a midfielder her whole youth career, so they're very comfortable in those positions.
And it's something that if you're in Milwaukee the other night, you saw it in the second half. It's not the way they started out, but here he's switched to it earlier. Intended for Lilly, instead it's Milbrett. She's got that great speed. Van Pelt will clear it away. Milbrett has a first gear, second, and a third gear, which makes her tough to stop once she's going through that defense.
And JP, the other thing that she's really been working on is her first touch on the ball. We've seen it a couple times. She's taking down these serves so nicely and beating her defenders with her first touch.
Parlow gets sent down. Another foul on Holland. Add that to the totals. Here's a quick one. And Hamm was busting through, and she's hauled down. Rich Grady's got a foul and a yellow card, too.
Now, JP, the U.S. converted on the last foul. Let's see what they do here. This is a very, very dangerous spot. Lilly and Chastain will be over the ball.
First caution of the day. Chastain getting ready to spot it. About 23 yards out. Yellow card went to Berger. Restart here for the United States, leading by a goal on Chastain's goal, unassisted in the 14th minute. Another run over the ball, and little encroachment there. Rich Grady waiting. Now tells Chastain to get ready. A driven ball up high. It was looking good, but it left her left foot.
Here's another look here. This ball was sprung through by Cindy Parlow. Absolutely brilliant first touch on the ball for a quick reset. Mia Hamm just gets clobbered by two players right outside the box.
This Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2, the U.S. women's national team takes on fellow 1999 World Cup participant Brazil, live from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. We hope you'll join us for full coverage. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Akers with brute strength, getting past Wiegman. It'll be pushed wide to the right. USA with a 1-0 lead. Mia Hamm on the ball, chasing that world record. She's 2 away from breaking it. Left side, Holland with the ball. They've had very little possession so far in the first half, but they've played pretty much total defensive game. Akers with Noom on her. You can see there's no one anywhere near that halfway line.
JP, look at this space that the U.S. is exposing right here. They are trying to go from sideline to sideline. It's going to be very tough for the Dutch forwards to have anything left in their legs to be able to create any kind of attack if they do spring through.
All the way back and see Chastain, and they send one front runner after her. It's knocked out of play. Number 9 was chasing. That's Goudena. There's your goal scorer, Brandi Chastain. Used to be a very good striker at Santa Clara and also with this national team. On the outside, Griffioen trying to play it through, and that's cleared away. Should be for a corner. Joy Fawcett knocking it out. Holland didn't even get a corner the other night. 11-0 in favor of the USA. Goals for Joy, but that's not what she does best. She does get them sometimes the important goal. She was the MVP in last year's U.S. Cup, too.
Very underrated player, wouldn't you say, JP? Also a very complete player. Can play very comfortably into the attack and as well in defense.
Off the corner, they were trying to go to the near post, and Fawcett headed that away, but it's in deep. Great kick on the bicycle off the crossbar. Well, I don't know about you, but that might have been a goal of the year candidate in the women's game we've done. Had that one gone in.
Holy mackerel, no question about it. For your Brianna Scurry, here's what you see coming at you. This is a volley, a bicycle kick, I should say. And Brianna's thanking the crossbar. But the U.S. needs to be better at that. That ball was actually flicked off a U.S. head, I think from maybe Fawcett into the box. But they've got to smother that ball in numbers so that the Dutch player can't have time to set up and for a bicycle kick of all things, right?
20th minute, USA looking for another left-footed shot. Stopped at the post by Van Pelt. Parlow will chase it, and Berger will clear it out. It'll be a USA throw-in. Van Pelt is going to get a serious workout in today for sure. She'll be tested far more than she was in the game against France. Here is Chastain firing from 19 or so yards out. It was deflected away, and the USA will get another corner kick out of this. It took this Holland team 19 minutes before they had their first shot. But again, they're playing a defensive game. Even more so than Thursday night. Milbrett's ready on the corner.
Look to the back post. Akers, Parlow, and Chastain.
Akers! She got to it. That's one of her many strengths, but she just put that one over the bar.
You can tell she's having fun out there, JP.
And it's good that she's playing a lot of minutes. Tony DeChico's not playing her full 90s all the time, but pretty soon she'll be getting it.
That's right. She's getting stronger and stronger. And here she is. Look at her going up. She's got a good foot, I think, in vertical over the nearest defender.
Michelle Akers at 33, but still going strong, and what she has overcome to get to this stage is incredible. Chastain will get some help on the chase back. She had Sobrero. It's played back to the feet of Scurry. Overbeck. Fawcett. Right at the halfway line.
JP, you can see that all the Dutch players are in their half of the field. And the U.S. is just trying to be very composed. They're trying to actually work it from side to side. Let's see here. Now Overbeck with one pass is getting it out to the right-hand side here. They're just trying to be very, very patient to spring their attack.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Motrin as Chastain takes it left. She has the only goal, and it came in the 14th minute. Right now she's down. They go with the advantage call. Chastain slowly gets back up. The ball back to Overbeck. Now to Fawcett. Fawcett continues to push forward on that right wing. Parlow losing it, and then she was held back. Parlow stays with it. Then she gets called for the foul. She was held a few yards upfield. She says the hamstring's okay now, but she's rounding out in a full fitness. She was defended by Koster. When this all began, no one was sure whether... They were sure, I think, that Parlow was going to make the team, but where was she going to play?
Right. She's a versatile player. She can play in the midfield or up top. But the other thing that's really important to point out is she has really battled back through her hamstring injury, which she had for a good probably 6 to 8 months.
Hamm trying to slot it through. She and Lilly have worked together for so many years, not just in this team, but obviously at Carolina as this ball goes on to play. And it'll belong to the United States, leading by a goal. 23rd minutes. All eyes on Mia Hamm, the people watching on TV, the people in the stadium, and certainly the Holland defenders. Off the throw-in. Akers has it. Michelle Akers sends it wide left, and then she goes down. Foudy got behind one defender, lost it as that ball was too far in front. Milbrett keeps it going. Foudy was after it, and they force Holland into knocking it out for another corner kick for the USA. And Van Pelt appears to be injured. Didn't see whether she got hit by one of the U.S. players or a teammate or when she went down.
Well, JP, to me, from up here, it looked like her own defender got her because she was desperately sliding to clear the ball out, and she may actually have kicked her in the head, maybe. Hopefully she's going to be okay here.
Well, if you're wondering who the backup goalkeeper is, she has no caps. That's Brenda Bottema. The #1 goalkeeper, as we said earlier, Marlene Wissink, very experienced, went home to play for her German club side where they were contesting for the championship.
Here we'll look. This is what happens. There's a lot of scrap going on in here. The ball's just kind of bouncing around. And here we'll take a look. This is the defender clearing it out here, and oh yeah, it's her own defender's foot.
Koster got her.
Yeah, she got her. Obviously inadvertently, needless to say.
Pelt is up and ready to face this corner kick challenge. Hamm drives it right to the middle. It went wide, and then I think that ball was out. And Rich Grady says so too. Saturday on ESPN, on ESPN2, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, MLS leading goal scores. Roy Lassiter and DC United take on the Miami Fusion. Marco Echeverry, the top playmaker. Hope you'll join us for MLS action all season long on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.com. Here's Hamm on the left. Akers. Oh, she took a hit there. Goudena. It's getting physical out there. Another caution. That one to Goudena. So more fouls at the start and a couple of cautions early. USA quickly on the right. Fawcett. Overbeck is in deep right now. Sobrero is the only one back for the USA. But their players will get back in a hurry if they lose possession. They won't lose it here. Here's the USA attacking just outside of the box. Lilly playing it back. Driven to the left to Chastain. On the cut to beat the first defender, which she does. The second one comes over, though, and makes the play. That's Griffioen. Milbrett was after it, has some help. Chastain played it wide, too wide, as it turns out, for Cindy Parlow.
JP, if Chastain's going to chew up that space, she's got to do it with 1 or 2 touches, but then be ready to make the serve, because the whole Dutch team is back in their half of the field. She knows she's going to come up against numbers down situations, so she's got to expose the space and then look to serve it quicker.
Coming back the other way. Wiegman. And Hamm will send this ball into space. Nobody near it. Set by Overbeck, the longtime captain, looking to play in her 3rd World Cup, like a good number of the U.S. players, including Mia Hamm, who's on the ball. Beating one. And then she went down. Here's Milbrett in a sea of orange. She finds the open player. That's Lilly. Tackled away. There were at least 5 defenders back there, it seemed, just against Milbrett.
Well, they probably are double teaming her in this matchup, especially when she turns and tries to get into the box. She's so explosive.
On the play it goes, and it'll be a goal kick coming up. And another yellow card was just issued late. Rich Grady saw it. I think what he did was he just waited and waited and waited until the play was stopped, and then he awarded it. We will confirm that to Fantol. Goal kick coming up. This portion of the match is being brought to you by Very Fine. So there's 3 cautions already on the Holland side. Fantol joins Lodder and Goudena. Here's Milbrett. And now Holland will take it over. It's behind Akers on that pass as she defends. No room there. Wiegman. Griffioen. And that's picked off. It was intended for Goudena. Milbrett, couple of cuts, some nice moves. And then it's released to Lilly just a bit behind her. And that will allow the defense to catch up. Back towards Milbrett. And it deflects wide. Parlow will chase it towards the end line. And Parlow was screened from it, couldn't get there in time. They've spotted a deflection, though. It's going to be a USA corner kick. Not sure if Parlow knew that was going to be a corner. So the USA will have another one. 20 goals already for Cindy Parlow. She's been a starter pretty much since the Algarve Cup. Not game 1, but shortly after that. I think the 2nd game she started. 4th corner for the U.S. Milbrett's ready. Plays it out differently this time to Hamm. Trying to get past one defender. That was a good situation, isolating me on the one-on-one.
Yeah, but normally that ball, JP, when it's served out there, what Hamm needs to do, it looked like it just didn't have quite enough pace on it, but if it's hit hard enough, she'll go ahead and hit a one-touch ball and bend it in towards the goal, and it's very difficult for the Dutch defense to get set on a play like that.
Here's Milbrett. Different plan up her sleeve. Headed. It's loose in the box. The USA will recover. Cindy Parlow. Nice on the back heel. She'll get it back to Chastain. A driven ball across. Akers in the air. Pass it. Lilly couldn't come around on the right foot. And Hamm was open too. Here's Overbeck. 29th minute. 1-0 USA, which was the same score at halftime the other night in Milwaukee. This one's too high, and out of play it goes.
JP, one thing I've been very surprised about with the moving Lilly up front, she's got to get into the forward mentality where she's got to unleash her shot quicker. She's had 3 chances here in the box, and normally she hits those real quickly, right or left footed, but for some reason she's hesitating a little too much.
You know, among active players now, she is number 3 in goals scored. She's creeping up. She's had 10 goals this year. Leading goal scorer on this year's team. Free kick coming up for Holland. 30th minute.
Look at the ball coming in here in the box, and great defensive play by number 10, Griffioen. She's covering the post. That's a critical spot. The keeper won't release them off the post until the ball is completely cleared out.
And Milbrett foul at the other end, and you wonder about retaliation for some of the hits that the Holland players have given to the United States. A free kick coming up, and before they take that, let's go downstairs again to Rob Stone.
As we do every U.S. national team game, we have a little sideline sighting, focusing on Tiffany Milbrett today. As you guys mentioned up in the booth, she has just been in an absolute tear this year. 9 goals, 8 assists thus far in 99. She's getting plenty of touches up front and creating a lot of chances. No goals, no assists yet, but it's early for Tiffany, but she's certainly very involved thus far.
Rob, that's a great point. And when we were talking to Coach DeCicco, one thing that he mentioned with it is that he's trying to get her to be a little less selfish, but there's such a fine line because you don't want to take the player's scoring ability away from them. But she's serving a lot of balls off that sometimes she would go ahead and finish on her own.
And they are still checking out Van Eyck, who's down on the side. And while they do, let's get an up close and personal look at Carla Overbeck, the captain of the U.S. national team.
My name is Carla Overbeck. I'm from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I'm a defender. My favorite hobby is reading and playing with my little boy Jackson. I like all kinds of music. I like Garth. I think he's a good performer. Blame it all on my roots. I had a role model. I liked a huge Cowboy fan, Roger Staubach. 91, 95, 99.
Back to live action as we get to meet Carla Overbeck, a Roger Staubach fan. Plenty of those around.
Well, growing up, I was a big Redskins fan, so in college we had a big rivalry going on. Every time they went against each other, we'd tease each other a lot.
Carla Overbeck, U.S. team captain. She has Jackson with her. We saw him last night at the hotel. Quite a week. Here is Foudy, number 11 on the ball. This portion of the match being brought to you by Bud Light. USA leading, but only by 1 goal. The physical match so far. 3 cautions already given out to the Holland side. And only 1 the other night in 90 minutes.
JP, this is a great warm-up match for the U.S. for the World Cup. Although Holland did not qualify for the World Cup, it gives the U.S. a team like a Denmark. They play very similar styles to get ready for. Of course, that's the opening match of the World Cup. And one thing that I've noticed a lot is the forwards are getting held a lot, and that's great. Also, a great experience for the U.S. to get ready for the World Cup, because you know that's going to be happening in the Cup.
First game against Denmark is a giant stadium, and then they'll play the African champions Nigeria right here in this stadium. 33rd minute, USA up 1-0, no goals yet. If you're just joining us from Mia Hamm, that's what everybody's waiting for. She's 2 away from setting a new world record. All the way back to Scurry. 27-year-old Brianna Scurry will clear it to the right side. Not the kind of switch they were looking for. Chastain has to go back. Gives everybody a chance to set up. Chastain now to Akers, and look at how much room is on that right side. Good ball, as it turns out. Not as good as Hamm would have liked. And Van Pelt will get ready to put it back in play. Pelt drives it off the left foot. All the way back. We've got another foul. This one going on the USA. There'll be a free kick coming up for Holland. 33 minutes gone. That's Griffioen, playing in her 36th cap. Made her international debut at age 16.
The Federation over in Holland is definitely supporting this team a lot more than they have in the past. Coach Doctor is very, very happy with the level of support. He wants it to keep getting better, but he feels like he's in a position to continue to improve his squad.
Getting a lot more money these days from the Dutch Federation, which helps. USA walking it up. Sobrero. very hot and humid day in Chicago. And it's going to be much worse, certainly, come June 24th. Left side, Chastain. She has the only goal. Up for Hamm. Tackle from behind. The advantage calls is Rich Grady, but that doesn't do Hamm much good right now. She's down. Picked up by Holland. Hamm slowly getting back up. Here is Foudy. But a few good advantage calls today by Rich Grady, who works in Major League Soccer. Sobrero. Way up now on the right. Finding Foudy. Hamm is already up and on the left side of the field. Somewhat alone right now. Foudy will play it right. Looks for the return instead. Lilly on the turn. Intended for Milbrett. And that's won the other way by Griffioen.
It looked like the referee got in the way a little bit there, but still there needs to be better communication on the U.S. part to let Tiffany Milbrett know, hey, you've got a defender coming on you pretty hard, so she can figure out where she needs to touch the ball in order to avoid that pressure.
The Van Pelt clearance is a giveaway. Chastain will push back.
Let's take a look here again. Carlo Overbeck is really trying to expose the width here. Sobrero gets the ball, and now she's chewing it up, but you got to keep moving the ball. That's, you know, just a JP, you know what that is? That's actually one of those unforced errors that Tony DeChico is talking about.
She's got to be the most fouled player on this U.S. squad.
Well, when she checks back for the ball, those defenders are on her so hard, and looks like she just got clipped in the back of her calf. Hopefully she's going to be all right.
And the good players do that. They come for the ball, but they do know that there's a risk there.
Well, there's a risk, and also the very good players, and Hamm is obviously one of those. She knows how to deal with that pressure. On that case, the defender just got a little bit better, you know, shot on her. But also, that's a good area for the U.S. to get a free kick in. So, you know, sometimes you want to try and draw the foul, but you've got to actually go back into that defender to stop the onrush of their strength and then control them. And then hopefully you can check back the ball and have a little bit of space.
This is Parlow on the left. Back for Akers.
Again, that's miscommunication, JP. I think that somebody's got to tell Akers, you know, go to the ball quicker so that, you know, you can avoid that onrushing defender.
Akers sending it long. Hamm was the intended target. She took a hit after she released that ball. USA will have another corner. This is one of the areas that they do want to improve on. Corner kick number 6.
The types of serves that Hamm and Milbrett do from each side are a little bit different. Hamm on the last opportunity tried to drive it across the box, and actually Akers usually gets her head on those. She missed the last one, so let's see if they try that again.
Off that corner. Knocked away again. They try to sneak that ball through. Another corner kick coming up, number 7 for Mia Hamm. Van Pelt wants to make sure she can see this ball. Not going to be too comfortable with a lot of that traffic in front of her, and only her second international. Here it comes. Knotted down, and Holland will play it safe and clear it out.
Parlow went down. I couldn't tell whether or not she got tripped or just fell on maybe some loose turf out there.
Another one of those unforced errors as that ball was shanked away. And as Van Pelt gets ready to put it back in play, we go back downstairs to Rob Stone.
Either head coach Tony DeChico had a rough sleep or he's not real happy with the performance today, and it would be option number B. He's extremely lamenting the poor possession by the team. Also, the defensive positioning has been dicey at best. Head coach Tony DeChico not in a warm, cuddly mood right now.
Thanks, Rob. This is Parlow trying to come through. No doubt Tony's going to be unhappy with a lot of the unforced errors.
That is a big issue, JP, and he'll look to correct that at halftime when he gets some time to sit the team down and talk to them.
You can make them against Holland. You can't make them against China and Norway. And Germany and Brazil, for that matter, as Hamm gets ready for this free kick. It's a 4-man wall. We'll see whether Mia will pass or try to bend it around or up and go at goal. Here's Hamm. She'll go for goal, but it's too high. And a goal kick coming up. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 Pacific, ABC's coverage of CART continues with the Rio 200. We hope you'll join us for full coverage. Mia Hamm looking to set a record today. So much pressure on her these days, with everyone asking about it.
As she said when she finally came out of her scoring drought, she got the monkey off her back, and Anybody who got to see her celebration, you could tell it was just a relief, and it made her so happy. And but you know, that's her job up front. She's got to score goals or she's got to assist goals, and she's back on track to do that.
Foudy was tied up by Louwaars. Hamm will get it back. Here's an interesting run down the middle. Noom will chip. What a great idea, because I don't think she had the foot speed, even though she's quick, because of her angle, to beat those two defenders.
Well, it looked like she actually had a bit of a step on Overbeck and Chastain. Of course, you want Sobrero back there because she's the she or Fawcett are the faster defenders, but Scurry was coming out very, very hard. It was a good option for her to go ahead and try and lift it over the goalkeeper's head. Just mishit it.
Here's Lilly. 40th minute. Chastain will hold. Foudy looking for Hamm. You see three converge on Hamm. She still has it. And then the foul. Free kick again coming up. Hamm is ready. Holland actually on defense rotated pretty well. Hamm quickly sending it in. The turn by Milbrett. She still has it and got a poke on that ball. Don't ask me how. Looked like she was all tied up.
She's so scrappy and so explosive. Here's the quick restart by Hamm. Just chips it into the space. That's a great opportunity there. And actually, Milbrett beats the defender there by nutmegging her, as we say.
15 fouls so far in this game, 10 for Holland. They've been booked 3 times. Akers was held there. Rich Grady saw that. Noom actually nudged her off the ball, which is tough to do. Sobrero playing it up. Looking to turn, there's another foul.
Well, DeChico said he wanted to try and improve upon these mid-range kicks. He's certainly getting his opportunity to do that today.
Maybe Christine Lilly gets a chance for this one. She's back there, so is Chastain. Akers is in the neighborhood. This one from about 28 yards or so out. Not dead center, but fairly close. Lilly with the hands on her hips, closest to the ball. She'll drive this one, but it's too high. And a goal kick coming up for Martine van Pelt.
JP, we'll see what Coach DeChico says at halftime, but in my opinion, because there are so many bodies for Holland, you know, back in their defensive third, what the U.S. really needs to do is continue to try and expose the width, try and draw them out, and then serve the ball in and maybe expose them before they can get set.
Holland looking to take it over near the halfway line. Louwaars comes all the way back. It's played to Scurry from Overbeck.
Here we see it. Carla Overbeck is looking for that long serve. Actually, that's a great serve to expose the outside.
Holland back on it. Migchelsen. Sobrero. Kate Sobrero will drive this one. She had Hamm, but didn't lift it high enough. Akers going hard on the challenge. Maybe too hard. Rich Grady calls the foul there. Free kick coming up for Holland. Michelle Akers scored the first goal in U.S. national team history against Denmark more than a decade ago. Still a star in this team.
He's played almost every position out on the field, JP.
Hamm working with it now on the left side. As deep as she's been to receive a ball, that's knocked out. Throw in for the USA in the 43rd minute. The same score the other day, right at halftime. USA by just a single goal. Chastain from the left. And again, there's all kinds of space there as Holland now tries to rotate over. Sobrero for Foudy, trying to split two, and she's tripped. And yet another free kick, all from about the same range for Holland, the way they're giving them up.
JP, when Sobrero brings that ball out, I'd like to see her actually kind of chew it to the right side a little more and find Fawcett. We haven't seen Fawcett try and get in, and with her speed, she should be able to beat that player 1v1 if she gets the opportunity.
Akers now putting the ball down from beyond 30 yards out. Akers is ready with 102 lifetime international goals. She'll fire it, but it's low and wide. great numbers for Michelle Akers. When we look at the number of goals compared to the international appearances, she's got the best scoring ratio of any female or male player anywhere.
Isn't that amazing? And we've seen her, you know, of late playing back in the midfield, and not only in the midfield, but in a defensive midfield position. But she's so dangerous on those long-range shots like we just saw her take just then. We've seen her score tons of those. And anytime the U.S. gets a corner kick, she's in the box battling for a goal.
You know what else is misleading? She doesn't play a lot of the full 90s the last few years, so it makes those numbers, the goal numbers, even better. A minute of stoppage time, they tell us, as the ball is played all the way back to Scurry. We're in the 45th minute. USA leading over Hamm. Chastain has the only goal that came way back in the 14th minute. Overbeck to Akers.
And finally, they find Fawcett out wide. This is a good play here.
The referee has indicated that
USA on the attack. Off of that stumble, it's recovered by Foudy. Foudy will find the open player. That's Hamm running it towards the end line. Mia's cross. I'm going to say that ball went out. So Van Pelt with a goal kick, depending on how much time is wasted here. Holland have an opportunity to go into the locker room down only by a goal, which would be a plus for them.
Not a bad position to be in. However, JP, if you remember Thursday night's game, that was the same scenario, and the U.S. came out and scored 3 or 4 very, very quick goals.
Van Pelt is getting ready. Just 20 years of age. Off her left foot, close to the halfway line. Akers won that in the air. Hamm left it off. Foudy is there. The Akers pass. And now on the run, Overbeck is overlapping wide on the left as Milbrett brings it back out. We're in stoppage time, about another half minute or so to go. And another giveaway. Love to get a count of those unforced errors if we could at halftime, because that was a Tony DeCicco concern, and he can't be happy about it. We've seen numerous ones today.
Well, Julie Foudy has been one of the players that has actually done that a lot today, so he'll correct that at halftime, I'm sure.
Halftime is where we're at right now. The USA has a 1-goal lead. Brandy Chastain with an unassisted goal that came in the 14th minute. And for Brandy Chastain, it was her 19th international goal. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Brandy joins us live right now. First part of the first half looked all right. Second half, sluggish, a lot of bad giveaways.
Yeah, unfortunately, we talked about that 2 days ago, and not giving the ball away on forced errors. We're doing it a little bit today, you know, getting used to the field, they're putting a little bit of pressure. We're putting pressure on ourselves. We're just going to clean it up in the second half.
Thanks, Brandy. Appreciate your time. Have a good second half. At the break, USA with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of Brandy Chastain's goal. When we return to the Windy City, a profile on Tony DeCicco, the head coach of the U.S. women's national team, and his 2 separate families, the one at home and the one on the field.
Can your camera take 3 different picture sizes whenever you want? Is your film as easy to load as this? And are your favorite pictures as easy to find as this? Advantix. Drop-in film loading, index print, and 3 picture sizes. The Kodak Advantix camera. It's a better way to take pictures further.
Good morning, Miss Foudy. How are we feeling today?
Good, thanks.
Deep breath. Let me just check one more thing.
Are you ready for Women's World Cup soccer?
Body shoot! Go!
Brought to you by Bud Light.
Reflex is good.
I get aches and pains all day long.
Tough pain needs the fast relief of Motrin IB gel caps. Powerful, concentrated. For fast relief,
Feel better. Beautiful.
it's Motrin IB, spoken here.
What do you have, folks?
Large pepperoni pizza.
And a Pepsi, please.
Sure thing, Curly.
Thank you.
We both know I ordered a Pepsi Cola. And now you've insulted me by offering me this. But I'd like to give you a chance to make amends. Capiche? Yeah. Here you go.
Good eye.
This game is not about how cool I am.
This game is not about how big I am or how tall I am. This game is not about money, chromosomes, or a single player. This is my game. This is my future. Watch me play. Women's World Cup, summer '99.
I get aches and pains all day long.
Tough pain needs the fast relief of Motrin IB gel caps. Powerful, concentrated. For fast relief,
Feel better. Beautiful.
it's Motrin IB, spoken here.
Welcome back to Chicago's Soldier Field. As any soccer coach will tell you, he has two families, the one at home and the one at the field. However, juggling those two can be a lesson in patience and sacrifice. Just add U.S. head coach Tony DeCicco and his two families.
Although I know he has a great love for this team and he really enjoys what he does, there's still that big part of him, part of his heart that's back there in Connecticut, and I know he misses them every day.
The one thing I miss the most about not being with my family is just, just seeing their faces in the morning and just, helping them out, whatever it is. It might be just a little homework thing, or it might be a school or a sports-related thing, or just getting hugs from them and my wife.
He's got two families. Tony has two families. He's an incredible role model for our sons. He's teaching our sons to follow their hearts, to follow their passion, to get up every morning and love what they do. And I don't think I could ask for any more from a father than that.
Soccer's always been something that he loves to do. And, I just hope that if I can do something that I love to do as much as he loves this, that my family will be, accommodating.
When he is around, we want him to know that we're all here for him and we support him 100%.
Tony, he has 4 sons, but 26 daughters.
Yeah, sometimes he does treat us like his daughters, and I think we treat him like a father sometimes, too. We give him a bad time.
It's definitely our family away from family, and the thing is, we all have one common goal, and we know it's going to take a lot of sacrifice.
We're all going through the same thing, so we can kind of bond together and understand what we're doing, and I think all the other people that we're missing understand that and give us their support.
I miss all my sons a lot, and certainly my wife, and it's difficult. Having the family atmosphere we create here helps. And these women just are amazing people, and they really tie in each other and the staff, and it's a neat group to be around.
Still ahead, soccer history in Ohio. Bruce Arena sounds off, and the youngsters cash in, all on this week's U.S. Soccer Report.
Saturday night is movie night with the Cat Pack. He's the inspector without a clue. Leslie Nielsen is on the case once again in Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult. Then, a reluctant teacher learns the lesson of a lifetime in the HBO original movie, A Lesson Before Dying. 2 perfect choices from the Cat Pack this Saturday night on Time Warner Cable.
How is this for dinner tonight? Fajitas La Hacienda packed with steak, chicken, shrimp, or pork at La Hacienda Mexican Restaurant. Join us on Monday for $1 Mexican Bear. On Tuesday, try our dinner buffet from 5 to 9. And for those midday craves, we have a Lunch Express buffet on Wednesday and Friday from 11:30 to 1:30. We can turn any party into a fiesta at our place or by catering at yours. La Hacienda Mexican Restaurant on Irving Park Road in Rosette.
Tonight on ESPN, SportsCenter leads off, followed by Baseball Tonight and Sunday Night Baseball, the Giants at the Astros. On ESPN2, RPM Tonight, World's Strongest Man and Karate. And on ESPN Classic Click and Pick, Morgan McEnroe in the 1980 U.S. Open, and Sunday Drives. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
looking at air travel with a new sense of possibility. Rising is imagination.
Welcome back to Soldier Field. I'm Rob Stone. We begin this week's U.S. Soccer Report with the U.S. men's national team, who in 4 weeks will be hosting Argentina from RFK Stadium in D.C. That game can be seen live on ABC Sports. Now, the Argentinians are expected to bring their top players, but for head coach Bruce Arena, well, he's still in his evaluating period.
There's a lot of challenges ahead for the national team, and I'm hopeful that by the middle of next year, we have our team pointed in the right direction.
Last Sunday, the under-17 men's national team all but ensured a berth in this summer's World Championship as they thrashed El Salvador in San Salvador 6-1. That victory marked the first time in 11 years that the USA has beaten El Salvador there. Jordan Sila led the way with 3 goals and an assist. Game 2 of that series next Sunday in Columbus, Ohio at the brand-new soccer-only Pacific Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. And it had its opening game last night as the Crew hosted the Revolution. Stern John sets up Jeff Cunningham in the first half, who beats Walter Zenga. The stadium's first goal and the game winner to boot. The Crew win it 2-0. They're on top of the Eastern Conference. When our coverage continues here from the Windy City, halftime highlights with JP Delacamera and Wendy Gebauer featuring the game's only goal thus far.
I get aches and pains all day long.
Tough pain needs the fast relief of Motrin IB gel caps. Powerful, concentrated. For fast relief,
Feel better. Beautiful.
it's Motrin IB, spoken here.
Can your camera take 3 different picture sizes whenever you want? Is your film as easy to load as this? And are your favorite pictures as easy to find as this? Advantix. Drop-in film loading, index print, and 3 picture sizes. The Kodak Advantix camera. It's a better way to take pictures further.
Okay, babe, here we go. Now, move over to the right. No, the other way, my right. A little more. A little more. Perfect.
How was it?
Beautiful.
If you think the Cavalier looks good, wait till you know it can go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks. Genuine Chevrolet.
Is it me, guys? Or do we really look ridiculous?
Man, for free Bud Light, I'm doing 70s night.
Right on, brother.
Shut the door! You're letting in a draft!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
We're looking at air travel with a new sense of possibility. Rising is imagination.
I get aches and pains all day long.
Tough pain needs the fast relief of Motrin IB gel caps. Powerful, concentrated. For fast relief,
Feel better. Beautiful.
it's Motrin IB, spoken here.
Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago, where the United States leads Holland by the score of 1-0 here at halftime. With Wendy Gebauer, I'm John Paul Delacamera. Today's the day, at least as far as the team goes, where Tony DeCicco tells his players who's made the squad. What do you think?
Well, I think that they've been in camp for a long, long time, and they're waiting for this moment. They've done a very, very good job to work so hard. And, you know, they're playing against each other in practices like playing against the best players in the world, and they've really worked hard to try and make that starting 11. Actually, the full 20 player roster, it's just a sigh of relief. They're getting ready to announce this. And I would say that this is probably the 11 starters you'll see in the beginning of the World Cup. The only thing is it could be tweaked a little bit based on what system the U.S. comes out in. Now, like we said, they're going to pick 20 players. The other 9 who've been battling for these slots, I mean, some phenomenal players. Look at the names in there. Tiffany Roberts, Tisha Venturini, Shannon MacMillan. Shannon's really making it difficult for Tony to decide what system to come out in because he needs her on the field.
So the 20 will be announced to the team tonight, and tomorrow the media and the general public will get to find out who is on that roster. And as we go to break, our Bud Light halftime highlights are coming up, and it is the game's only goal. Brandi Chastain off of that rebound off the deflection. She gets an unassisted goal in the 14th minute. That's where we stand. 1-0 at halftime, USA.
This Sunday night on Time Warner Cable, follow the ups and downs and the ins and outs of some of the world's best four-legged athletes as they conquer the course at the Animal Planet Grand Prix of Dog Agility. Or if you'd rather watch athletes of the two-legged variety, catch the Giants versus the Astros during ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball. The action starts at 8, 7 Central on Time Warner Cable.
Here we are, Mobiltel. You gotta see inside, come on. There we go. Now, take a look. Isn't this something? Cell phones in every shape and style and every price range. Mobiltel, a Cellular One sales and service center, offers digital service for as low as 7 cents a minute and rate plans starting at $9.95 a month. Stop in at one of Mobiltel's 6 locations. You'll see why Mobiltel is clearly the best.
It can get competitive here at Sports Center.
So Charlie says you're maybe the 50th best heavyweight. In the world? In Georgia.
But when there are differences, we keep it in the family.
So Carl started drinking a little bit. And then he was going on and on about he and Mrs. Met. I mean, nasty stuff. Nasty.
And keeping it in the family has made our family stronger.
Charlie, come on out and get your whooping. Charlie, come on out. Stand up.
What do you have, folks? A large pepperoni pizza.
And a Pepsi, please?
Sure thing, Curly.
Thank you.
Hey, we both know I ordered a Pepsi Cola. And now you've insulted me by offering me this. But I'd like to give you a chance to make amends. Capiche? Yeah.
Here you go.
Good eye.
After 45 minutes here at Soldier Stadium, the USA with the 1-0 lead right now. We're joined live by head coach Tony DeCicco. You just came out of the locker room. I'm sensing you had a lot to say to the ladies in the locker room.
Well, you know, Holland's doing a good job of frustrating us. They're playing 5 in the back. But we can do a better job of ball movement. We absolutely have to. And we need to do a better job of closing on defense. Our closing defensively leads to a lot of our offensive opportunities. But ball movement is the big challenge now. We need to move the ball better, and I'll have to see how this group does. I have some players ready to go in.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Rob and Tony. Second half just underway with the USA in white. Holland in the orange and white. Sobrero on the ball. This portion of the match is being brought to you by Chevy. As Fawcett plays it over and back to Akers. Left side, Chastain working there. And quick foul on that far end of the field. 2 players down in that tough collision.
Well, they definitely hit the sign out there. Here we'll take a look at it here. Brandi Chastain's trying an overlap run and runs into into Lilly's space there, and Migchelsen and Chastain just mix it up. Hopefully they're going to be okay. I think Chastain may have hit her head on the signboard there.
Brandi Chastain, the goal scorer, right now down.
Chastain here is making her overlapping run, but she's going inside. Lilly has the ball there, and a football tackle is what we just witnessed, JP.
So they will be working on Chastain here in the second half, 47th minute. Hamm talking things over. Trying to break through this bunker. And they will need to move that ball quicker, as Tony DeCicco said, to have some success today. They're only leading by a goal thanks to Chastain. We invite you to join ESPN, ESPN2 and ABC this summer as the top 16 nations on the globe will compete for the 1999 Women's World Cup. Coverage begins on June the 19th with the USA facing Denmark. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. And Brandi is apparently okay. She'll feel that, though, for a bit. USA on the ball. Lost the sun here today. It started out 72 degrees. A very hot, sticky day in Chicago. There is a threat, though, of rain in the forecast. USA will switch it back to Sobrero. You know, if this were a couple of weeks ago, Torny DeCicco might have made several changes, but he wants to try to simulate game conditions, so you may see less of the substitutions the rest of the way through. Today he may change it for different reasons, though.
Well, he made reference that he's got, you know, ready and able players on the bench, just eager to get some times, and so that they can too be ready for the World Cup. But you're right, it's about team building right now, and he needs to have the starting unit, or at least, you know, what is very close to the starting unit, out on the field playing as much minutes as they can together, so they can build good chemistry and team building and that sort of stuff.
Based on what he told us last night, if he made wholesale changes here in the second half, because he can make 5 subs, then I think that's a message.
It may be a message that, yeah, the team out there on the field isn't getting it done to his liking. He had a little bit of an undertone in that, I think, when he made his last comment with Rob.
Long clearance from Pelt. USA holding it with Sobrero to Chastain. Overbeck's in the middle. Fawcett sort of hanging on this right side, alone again, but they're not playing it to him.
Right, I think they will, though. This is part of design. Coach Chico told us that another one of his systems that he'll play is 3 in the back. And again, you start to see it here with these 3 back here. And Fawcett's going to move out onto the right side, and she gets free reign to run all day out there.
Akers will play it left. Chastain back to Michelle Akers, number 10 on the ball. This time it does go Fawcett's way. USA going up against a sea of orange in Holland. Milbrett back to Akers. USA actually very used to bunker tactics based on a lot of the games that we've brought to you, the way these teams have defended against them.
You're right, JP. This is very good, you know, exposure for the U.S. to try and sort out. You can see all the players are really just bunkered back into that final third.
Only the one attacker, that's Noom, and she pays the price on a Sobrero foul right around the halfway line. Kate Sobrero, the only one with so few caps, shall we say, at the back. You look at everybody at the back, and everyone has well over 100, and she's in the 20s.
Well, it's interesting because at some point, Coach DeCicco is going to need to start, I guess, working these younger players in to get them the experience, because the best way they're going to improve, not only have these matches, but to be on the field with the veterans. And Sobrero is one of those players that is really, you know, earning that advantage, I guess you could say.
She's come a long way. She's a starter now, whatever they play for in the back.
Well, I think she's probably been the biggest surprise as far as a newcomer making it into the starting lineup.
The Wiegman pass now to the right side for Holland. No. Bumped by Parlow. And Parlow wins it back for Brandy Chastain, who holds it. She has the only goal that came in the 14th minute. All the way back. Van Pelt will backpedal so she can handle it if she wants. This portion of the match being brought to you by Pepsi. We're in the 51st minute. Holland trailing 1-0. They came here to play the USA for 2 games this week. 2 games over an 8-day course. That's how many days they're spending in the United States. Akers in that collision. Ball is coming back the USA's end, but there's Overbeck. Got it switched wide to the left side. USA now on the attack. Passed up and then given away.
Foudy's just having a tough time, I think, on her distribution. She's got to tighten it up, and that's the problem there, I think, is she's just holding it a little bit too long. She's getting into the space out wide very nicely, but then she's got to keep the ball moving. The longer she holds it, the more time it gives the Dutch defense to get set.
And credit Holland for the way they're playing, as Brandy Chastain did. I mean, you've got to give some credit at the other end. Yeah, there are unforced errors, but Holland's played them tough.
Right, they're smart, and they obviously are well coached, and they are frustrating the U.S. team. And that's, you know, their objective in this game is they're very, very happy with where they are, I'm sure, because they came out and held tight for 60 minutes, and that's when things started breaking down. So you can be sure that they're going to try and go for 70, 80, 90 minutes this time to hold up.
They lose 1-0 or 2-0, that's like a victory.
JP, I want to point out that Christine Lilly has moved up front, and Cindy Parlow has dropped back into the midfield.
And it might be a forecast of things to come. That's what Chico said yesterday. Depending on formation, it'll have an effect on who is starting, and MacMillan is one of those that can make a difference. Chastain got back in a hurry to cover. That space was open at first. Here's Foudy, number 11. Right at the halfway line, she'll switch to Akers. Fawcett is there and takes it. Lilly trying to play it through. Parlow for Hamm, the First touch of the half. Mia's in. The shot. Number 107, she's tied it. One more and she'll stand alone.
Look at the nice ball here by Christine Lilly. Good patience. Great one-touch ball by Cindy Parlow. Now Mia Hamm is so composed. 5 defenders around her. This is where she's so good, finishing in the box. And you can see her celebration there. She's a happy camper.
I was about to remark before that she hadn't touched the ball. They hadn't found her yet. One touch, one goal.
Well, it's interesting because Cindy Parlow's playing kind of a withdrawal striker. She's in the midfield, but she's supporting that forward line. And that's the nice thing about Cindy in that position.
Now, we don't know where that ball is going officially. Maybe to Mia's home, who knows, but they are saving, obviously, that ball for the future. They're working with another ball here. They're part of history. They're making the announcement about her tying the record as Akers plays it back. Here's Sobrero. Now to the right side, Fawcett holds. Here is Hamm. Back to Fawcett. They will be looking to feed Mia Hamm, you can be sure, to get that number 108, and the excitement will build. I think everybody that is here pretty much knows what she's done. 107 apiece with her. Vignotto, here she goes! On a bending ball that is just wide.
Here's another look. This is Mia's run off the ball here. Splits the defenders, and Cindy Parlow gives her a wonderful ball inside. Look at her composure. She's got defenders sliding in, coming at her from all angles, and there's her celebration. Now, if you're the keeper, this is what you see coming at you. She just beats her high. Actually, in that case, a lot of times that crossbar is the goalie's best friend, but in that case, it was Mia's best friend.
In the air, a couple players going down. It's played up now. Hamm will touch it back for Foudy into space. She tried to find Parlow. Not a down and out for a corner kick.
I thought Koster had a handball there in the box.
I did too.
I think she got away with something.
So corner kick coming up. We'll watch Mia Hamm. The Holland defense will as well. Right now she's at the top of the circle area, about 22 yards away. Here it comes. Parlow ends up with it. Chastain is free. It goes inside the box. Lilly was looking for it. That was almost another goal. It's a corner kick, but again, it was on that second service after the first one was denied.
I'm seeing a little bit of fatigue in the Dutch defense. Cindy Parlow had time in the box to take it down.
Chastain got up, but headed wide. Goal kick coming up. We're going to see a substitution, and Shannon MacMillan is going to be coming on for her former college teammate, Tiffany Milbrett. Let's go down to Rob Stone.
Coach Chico told us yesterday Shannon MacMillan probably playing her best ball since the '96 Olympics. As she was about to head in, he pulled her aside, said, hey, we need a lift, close down on defense, play your game. You're playing great lately.
So MacMillan for Milbrett, as this portion of the match is being brought to you by Kodak. We might have a Kodak moment coming up here pretty soon. Mia Hamm can get one more goal. Still gets the loudest ovation, and like Michael Jordan in Chicago, she was introduced last for the U.S. team. All the way to the right side. Holland on the ball. They'll move it up. USA leading now 2-0. Chastain and Hamm are the goal scorers. Sobrero. Right to the halfway line. She finds Fawcett. Hamm is behind one defender. Towards the end line. She'll play it inside. There's Lilly. Wants it in the left foot. Save and a beauty by Pelt. And the flag is up. Referee's assistant puts the flag up, but Lilly wanted that time to set up the left foot that time, as opposed to the pass when you remark she did not hesitate.
You're right, JP. And not only that, but she threw a deceptive move in the box. Watch it here. Watch this deception. Freezes the defender, and she almost beats the goalkeeper near post. That's how you buy time.
Christine Lilly on the feed from her former Carolina teammate, Mia Hamm. They've been teammates for years now. Talk about chemistry. I mean, many of these players have played on several World Cup teams, Olympic teams, Goodwill games. They're battle tested together.
And when you play that much with each other, a lot of times you don't even have to look up to know where to serve the ball. You just know by the nature of the run that the player likes to make that they're going to be there. And that's exactly what happened on Mia's serve to Christine.
MacMillan getting it free. Looks for Hamm. Trying to go wide of the defender. She'll break in and it's tackled away. That's a great defensive play by Cindy Berger. It'll be a corner kick. That was her only way to stop it.
The crowd is booing. They wanted a PK.
Nah.
I think it was a clean, definitely a clean play. Here's a look at Mia. Look how she gets a quick explosive touch there, but the defender does a very, very good job to come back and recover defensively. Otherwise, Hamm's in 1v1 with the keeper.
MacMillan is getting ready to take the corner kick. We've got a player down for Holland. I believe it's Berger who just made that tackle. You know, it's interesting. The crowd was booing. They wanted a penalty kick, but Mia Hamm doesn't really take penalty kicks, so they may have gotten all into a frenzy for nothing. Tony DeCicco designates players to take the kicks ahead of time, and today he said Akers, Lilly, and Chastain.
And what happens is the player who's designated first can decide whether or not they want to actually take that kick. If they don't want it, they'll pass it on to the next player.
MacMillan plays it across. It's touchdown. Hamm the drive. Oh, it was there. She saw it. Like an artist, she had that one framed, and she could tell you how much she missed it by. And you are really watching an artist when you watch Mia Hamm.
Oh, she's unbelievable. Here's a look. This is a different type of corner kick here. We've got a ball that's served back to Mia. It looks like they're actually trying to set her up a little bit. Akers did a good job to serve that ball back. I think her reference to that distance of an inch was how much she was leaning back, which sent the ball way over the box.
More than an inch in terms of what she missed.
Right.
The great ones have to be self-critical. That's part of what makes them great. The Jordans, the Gretzkys, their own worst critics, and they have been for years. She's in that class. On the restart. Going deep the other way. Christy Pearce was up, and now she's sat down on the USA bench as the U.S. comes out of the back with Chastain. 2-0 USA lead. Mia Hamm has tied the world record for goals scored, set by Elisabeta Vignotto. They're both tied at 107, and Vignotto has long since retired. Here's Foudy, cutting it through to MacMillan. Hamm is making a run this time on the left side as this one goes out. MacMillan with a tough lunge. Which Grady says to settle down. It's going to be the USA's ball. Rich Grady, he's got something else. Mia Hamm, they've got a foul called originally. Hamm is spotting it down for a free kick just outside of the box. Lilly is with her for support if she wants to play it back. She'll drive it across instead. Akers, what a foot save by Pelt, and the rebound by Fawcett is too high. That is the way you execute a free kick. Granted, they didn't score there, but 9 out of 10, she'll convert.
Yeah, no question about it. And actually, that was a great, great foot save by Pelt. Here's the ball coming in the box. Now watch this. It's got some pace to it, but it's to the far post. If you're going up against Akers, forget it. She's going to win that head ball.
Michelle Akers, so strong in the air. Scored the most goals back in the 1991 World Cup, and as you mentioned before, she keeps dropping back. She was more of an attacking midfielder in '96, and she's coming out now. Next up might be Sweeper, the way she's progressing backwards, but Akers leaves. Lori Pearce coming in. Christine Pearce is coming in. And we'll see who else came out. Kate Sobrero came out. So those are the changes made. Lori Fair, we were told yesterday we might see her in the midfield, and based on that substitution, looks like that's the deal.
She's going to play that defensive midfield role. She's going to try and change the point of attack every time she gets the ball, like Akers has been doing all game long.
Downstairs to Rob Stone. Rob?
Chico originally was going to put Christy Pearce in for Michelle Akers. Coaching staff came around, talked about, decided to put Lori Fair in there. So Lori will be playing the holding midfield position. Brandy Chastain slides over more of a stopper sweeper role in conjunction with Carla Overbeck.
Thanks, Rob. On the right side, Chastain will hold on now with Fawcett to her right. Fawcett bringing it up. 62nd minute. USA leading by 2. Goals by Chastain. And Mia Hamm's record tying 107th international goal. Tackled away by Holland. Noom trying to play it through. Right side, too far for Louwaars. And the USA will get it. Holland hasn't had much of the ball possession here in the second half. If they defend and they win the ball, they haven't kept it much longer. They've not been supporting each other. And they might be tired, too, as you remarked before. They're doing a lot of chasing and defending.
Well, I think so. And also, if they do get a quick counterattack, it's probably Noom who's going to be on the other end of it. And her legs have got to be tired, because every time the U.S. gets the ball, just like this right now, with a couple serves, they've switched it to the other side of the field. It's so tough for Holland to get set.
All the way across, Chastain holding. Michelle Akers totals 43 possessions, 43 touches, 3 shots, and almost a goal. Knotted out for another corner for the United States. Again, they've had a big edge there against Holland, just like they did on Thursday night. 11th corner. Played inside. Fawcett was there at the post. And out of play it goes. Another USA throw-in. 64th minute. They'll toss it out. Pearce will play to the left. Now it's knocked out of play. Another throw-in coming up for the United States. Looking for some room was Hamm, but that's tackled out. And again, it's still going to be USA's ball.
Okay, let's watch how they set up here. They might be looking to target Cindy Parlow for a quick flick in the box. Actually, Lilly's going to check to it this time.
Knotted down by Holland. They're playing with fire there. They played it safe. It's still another throw-in. Chastain is over on that far side to take it. Here it comes. It's loose in the box, and unable to pounce on it was Lilly. Finally, it's settled. Foudy shot trickles through, and it's cleared away. Long run back. You've got Pearce, you've got Overbeck. Overbeck touching it up. This is fair. Back to Pearce. Foudy. Cut off at the left side. It's knocked out of play. Downstairs again to Rob Stone.
President and CEO of Women's World Cup 99 Chicago, one of the venues for this summer's World Cup, and looks like the stadium's doing all right.
Yeah, this is a great venue for the Women's World Cup. We have 4 matches here, 2 doubleheaders, one on June 24th, which features the U.S. team, and then 2 more games on June 26th, and we're going to have a sold-out stadium on the 24th.
And nothing sells tickets like Mia Hamm, right?
Nothing sells tickets like Mia Hamm and the U.S. Women's National Team. Certainly the team to beat this summer, but there's a lot of other great teams. China, Germany, Brazil, Norway. We're going to have a great tournament.
Great, Marla. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob, and thanks to Marla Messing. Still selling tickets, 350,000 we were told at last count. It's an average of over 20,000 per event. And we're still better than 30 days away from the opening kickoff. Here's Lori Fair. Picked off, but there's nowhere to go with that for Koster. And Scurry has not had a busy day today. Overbeck. Here's Fair. Trying to use some of her speed in that midfield. And comes back, checking back for the ball. There's an electricity whenever she has it, anywhere near a scoring position. Not right there, that's too far out, but anytime she gets close, even 30 yards out, you can feel it in the crowd.
The other thing that's incredible is that when she gets the ball, you know 2 or 3 defenders are going to converge on her, and what she's so good at, and she's continually trying to get even more precise with, is finding that open man, because if 2 or 3 players are on her, somebody's open. Maybe 2 teammates are open.
This portion of the match being brought to you by Motrin on the far side of the field. This is Mia working with it. She'll get a throw-in for the USA, and there is the record. They hardly lose when Mia Hamm scores a goal.
Holy mackerel.
And they shouldn't be losing this one with a 2-0 lead over Holland. That's an unbelievable stat. 62-2-2. Here's Lilly trying to thread it through to Parlow. Parlow almost got back up and got to that. Chastain settles, finds Lori Fair. Still has a year to go at the University of North Carolina. Fawcett and Parlow, and now it's lost, taken over. Noom, and again it's lost. Christy Pearce. Julie Foudy. The touchback from MacMillan. Chasing by Mia Hamm. Fawcett, and that's knocked away.
She just never stops, JP, and that's a great example to the viewers back at home. That's where team defense starts, and it's up top. And when she's working so hard like that, her teammates rally around her. It's just great to see.
68th minute, USA 2. Holland, no score. Chastain and Hamm are the goal scorers. Mia's record time, 107th international goal if you just joined us. Chastain at the halfway line. Now it's fair. The touch from Hamm towards Lilly knocked out of play. Still, it belongs to the United States. Fawcett was going to take it. Instead, she'll give it up to Cindy Parlow. Parlow sending it in deep, and that's his missed kick. That was not playing it safe by Cindy Berger. She wanted to move that up the wing and further upfield.
She's probably trying to clear it high and wide, and unfortunately she cleared it high and
out.
Yeah, high and out, and now the U.S. has a good throw-in opportunity. A lot of times games will come down to these set pieces. These are very tactical opportunities for the U.S. But it looks like Holland has scouted this one very well, because they're actually having two players fronting and behind Cindy Parlow, so she cannot get that flick on the face of the goal.
Holland wants to make a change. That's Mika van der Waals, who will get ready to play in her 17th full international, and she will replace Noom. So the switch is made. They lose Noom with great speed and goal-scoring ability, but on a day like today, she's not really going to get chances. So van der Waals comes on, gaining some experience, much needed for this Dutch team. Here's Chastain on the throw-in. That's Holland's first sub. Knocked down and cleared out. Just out now, out of the box. Long run by the fresh legs of van der Waals, but instead the USA are back with some numbers. Here's fair. Chastain.
I'm sure Coach Doctor told her, when you go in there, you've got fresh legs, you've got a lot of energy. Go in there and just run the whole time and try and, get loose balls, win loose balls, and maybe create a counterattack opportunity.
70th minute, USA leading 2-0. More USA soccer action next weekend when the United States takes on fellow 1999 World Cup participant Brazil. We'll have it live from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.com. That's Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on the Deuce. Chastain picked off. Holland coming back. Van Eyck. And now it's Overbeck to Foudy. Looking for Lilly and finding her was Foudy. It'll be played wide left. USA attacking. And Holland are back to win it and clear it. This goes out of play. Another throw-in coming up. 71st minute. USA leading 2-0. It's pushed back to Fair. Lori Fair holds. We'll switch it across. Brandy Chastain going up a few strides. Give and go from Parlow. Right back to her. Here's Parlow. Went to take the drive, and she was blocked. Got a player down for Holland as well. USA back to win it. Chastain holds in the middle. Intended for Hamm. Picked off. And Holland will lose. Regain for the moment with Van Eyck. No give there from either player, her or Fair. There's Parlow winning it. She's got Hamm too. This one is deflected in, maybe even off the ground, off a bad piece of stretch. Goal kick coming up for Van Pelt. Bud Light game summary shows the 2 goals, and the big one is for Mia Hamm. In the 53rd minute, it's her 107th career goal. This portion of the match is being brought to you by Very Fine. As we continue along from one of the World Cup venues, Soldier Field in Chicago, home of the MLS Chicago Fire and NFL's Chicago Bears. Wiegman plays it up. Then the lead pass too far for van der Waals. With those fresh legs. Joy Fawcett holds in the 72nd minute.
You can tell Fair's probably already touched the ball about 20 times this half, JP. What they're trying to do every time she gets it is get her in a position where she can change the point of the attack.
Parlow trying to get through, using her strength. Instead, Holland will take it back and flick it over the halfway line. Pearce will chase it. Pearce has also come a long way, although by the time she got to residency, a lot of people thought she could make this team. Last year, a much bigger question mark, but she's earned a spot.
Well, she's so athletic. Multi-sport athlete in college, played basketball as well, but she brings so much speed, and she's got a lot of experience, you know, and it would be tough not to have a player with her athleticism on the field, or as an option to go on the field.
Holland will take over. Not for long again. Lori Fair holds. Lilly coming back. Right side it comes to Fawcett. Parlow on the turn. Play on. The advantage call. Here's Parlow. They thought they heard a whistle. Parlow drives it far side. That one off the side of the netting. Although some people think it's in. And it almost looked like it was in from here, but there was no celebration for the U.S. team. That was off the side.
Here's another look at the development here of this play. Here we'll see the build-up by the U.S. and Cindy Parlow. He's got the ball out wide, beats her defender, serves a great bending ball to the back post, and Julie Foudy's there. From not a very good angle, tries to finish near post. Maybe she needs to pull that back to the player that's supporting her at the top of the box.
As we come back, a change. Lodder is going to come on for Wiegman, and the USA want to make a change too with Tiffany Roberts, but they've not made that yet. Lilly trying to send it up the other way. Instead, it goes back. Underballs with that speed, but Overbeck caught her. Scurry, one of the few times she's had to touch the ball today, clears it away to Fawcett.
Very controlled touch by Brianna Scurry. That was nice, getting it to the feet of Joy Fawcett.
Harder to do when you've seen little to no action at your end.
That's a very good point. It's very tough for goalkeepers in games like this to stay focused, but you never know when that split second you're going to need to be on.
Here's Fair, holding, sending it wide left. Foudy is there. MacMillan and Hamm runs in the box. So does Parlow. Nice move. They were looking for Parlow. Looked like it's deflected out. Another corner kick coming up. And I think they're seeing that Julie Foudy might be running out of gas. Hard to tell from here. She works so hard. But Foudy is coming out, and they want to do it now before the corner for Tiffany Roberts, who can add nothing but speed to this lineup. And some experience, too. She was back at that World Cup in '95, Olympics as well.
And the other thing is she works nonstop, and she's got a lot of heart as well.
One sub affecting 4 different players. Tiffany Roberts in, Julie Foudy out. Here's what's going to happen. Lori Fair will move up to the attacking midfield slot. Joy Fawcett moves to the defensive midfield slot.
USA will pick it up on this near side. Here's MacMillan from Overbeck, and Holland will take it over. Tiffany Roberts is on the chase, and this is about as fast as the USA can be, with the exception of bringing on Whalen. You've got Roberts, you've got Fair, Fawcett, of course. Pearce can fly. Whalen's the only speed runner missing.
If the U.S. can find ways to isolate those players, it's going to be really, really tough for the Holland team to, to even touch the ball, really, because the speed of play is what's going to kill them. They're already tired, so that's, I'm sure, what Tachico's trying to get out of these players that have come in. Add a little spark and add a lot of speed.
Might be one of the reasons, too, for Holland to make the switches as well, seeing these fresh, fast people coming on. If you've already run for 70-odd minutes and now 75 plus, last thing you want to see is somebody fast coming off the bench.
That's right.
USA will have it on a throw-in on the far side. This portion of the match being brought to you by Bud Light. 2-0 USA leading on a day where Mia Hamm has so far at least tied the world record for goals scored. And that was another tough collision on the near side. This has been anything but a tame game.
Well, you can see, and that's Roberts there going in on, in my opinion, with a hospital ball by Pearce. I mean, why serve a 60-yard ball that's 50-50 for your teammate? Especially when Roberts has just come in, she's probably just getting warmed up. Go ahead and build the ball through Overbeck.
And this is Overbeck, the captain, taking the free kick. Going inside. In the air was Chastain, who scored the first goal of the game. But this one was right at Van Pelt. Martine Van Pelt clears it well over the halfway line. She made a few big saves today. I want to remember maybe the best was that foot save off Akers. Out of the back from Toll. And it's cleared the other way. Overbeck and Fawcett. And now it's Brandy Chastain on the left. Going long, intended for MacMillan in the air. And Holland back to win that. Back to Van Pelt. Fawcett set it down. I think she thought there was help coming a bit closer. The USA still wins it. Thanks to Pearce's run, and now it's Roberts. Back for Pearce. Roberts taking that challenge hard. Fawcett holding in the middle. Going wide for Chastain. Chastain will hold up towards the middle. Lilly. Patience here for the U.S. trying to find a seam. But that time Holland will recover and clear. And Holland getting ready to make another substitution as well. Bringing another pair of fresh legs. 79th minute here. USA leading 2-0 over Holland. We lost 5-0 to the USA the other night. 5 different individuals scored for the U.S. And here's Holland with that one player up, and they win the ball. Scurry will come back out forward at the edge of the box.
You can tell from Chastain's body language that she's upset with herself, because that's another one of those examples of unforced error.
Fawcett holds. Up the middle she comes. Push forward, another collision. That was fair going down. And it's finally cleared out by Holland. Fair slowly gets up. We may see that substitution now for Holland if they allow it. Trying to make the change now with 17:20 coming in.
Here's a look at this most recent tackle here. Fair gets, I think, kind of hit, maybe knocks the wind out of her a little bit on that tackle.
Torny has come on for Goudena. So that's Holland's latest switch as Pearce brings it up. Here's Hamm. Double team. There were 3 players in the neighborhood. Roberts will pick it up as Hamm picks herself back up. The ball stays there. And it's going against Holland. So a free kick for the USA right by the end line.
So because of the positioning of this ball here, the U.S. will go ahead and probably set up just like a corner kick.
We'll see what Mia chooses to do with this. Roberts is there too. If they wanted to go short. Hamm will drive it in. Now he got it to go. Chastain again, number 2.
Here's another look at the serve. It's beautifully served across. There's no way Van Pelt is going to be able to get on that ball, and Chastain does a great job at the back post to head it home. Here's another look. Look at the way this ball comes into the box here. Van Pelt is in no man's land, and Chastain gets up very high and heads it right back in the direction that it came from and sends it home for a goal.
Well, many people came to see 2 goals from Mia today. They see Brandy get 2, but Mia did assist on that last one.
And if you're the keeper here for Holland, this is what you see coming at you. She gets beat near post, which is a cardinal sin for a keeper. Nice header by Brandy Chastain.
Fotopolous has just checked in for Cindy Parlow as well. So the USA has made another change, giving everybody a chance, or as much as they can. Here's Chastain holding. It's now a 3-0 lead for the USA. 2 by Chastain, 1 by Hamm.
I want to point out that the adjustment is Fotopolous has gone up top. Remember that Parlow came out from the midfield position, and Lilly has dropped back into the midfield. There's just so many options on this U.S. team when he makes a substitution.
There is the official switch. Fotopolous gives you size, strength, and skill. We'll have to check that out. Another yellow card given out. Here's the free kick, chipped inside. Hamm is there, looking to turn. Mia looking. Couldn't get around on one defender. He knew what she wanted to do there, but now it's cleared on a play. It's still going to be the USA's ball. Mia Hamm on on that throw. USA holding on. Migchelsen getting that last yellow card. Here's the U.S. Hand drives it across, and it's caught there. A nice move by Pelt, just smothering the cross.
Hamm got turned on her defender so quickly that her teammates didn't have a chance to make the runs in the box. The first run in the box should be near post, and that's where she was looking to serve that ball.
Holland will lose it again, just around that halfway line area. USA on it. Christine Lilly in the middle. Chastain with the 2 goals today. The first USA goal and their last one. And a bit of a push from behind, to say the least, from Van Eyck, who will also go to the books. She knocked down Roberts. USA will end up with the ball again. Deep. Free kick coming up. Lilly putting it down.
Number 7, Sabine Van Eyck, in the 83rd minute.
Christine Lilly is ready. Loves the left foot. He's one of the best in the world. Here it comes. Going inside. And they were looking for Fotopolous, who's also strong in the air. Saturday on ESPN2, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Watch Marco Echeverry and DC United as they take on the Miami Fusion. It's MLS action all season long on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of Go Network, go.com. Echeverry alone is worth the price of admission if you're a fan of soccer in the DC area. This one is cleared up. And out of play it goes. We talked about Holland. Not happy when you see speedy players coming on, but now they see Fotopolous, and it's a different story totally.
Exactly, and don't, you know, discount her speed. She's got great speed, but let me tell you, if you get a ball in the box to her, she's going to out-jump you. If you get the ball to her feet and she's got some space, she's going to outrun you. And if you try and defend her, you're not going to be able to because she's so strong.
And she could play an important role in the World Cup depending on what the USA needs in a substitute spot. She's not expected to be a starter. Joined us late. We think this will be the starting lineup, the 11 that you saw at the top of the match. 7 goals already in 20 international appearances. She could be the next great scoring star for this team. Here is the great scoring star, Hamm, knocked out. Another corner.
JP, the other thing about Fotopolous is you see her playing on the field and you see her, you know, at times a real mean streak in her. She's a competitor, but the other thing about her, she's so incredible for chemistry. Everybody loves Danielle Fotopolous.
MacMillan on the corner. And Fotopolous was waiting for that, but it was deflected away from her. Still going to be the USA's ball to throw it. I don't know about you, but I find myself looking around, no matter who's got the ball, to see where Mia Hamm is, to see if they are going to find her ahead of time. Right now, for those watching the ball, she's at the edge of the 18. And there are 2 defenders right by her, 1 on each side. Here's a long ball play to the left. And it's going to be too far. And a goal kick coming up. And of course, if Mia doesn't get the record today, all the more reason for you to join us next Saturday in Orlando, where she'll be going for it. Her book is out now. I understand you've read part of it, right? Goal for Goal.
What a great book. Yeah, there's actually an opening quote in it by Anson Dorrance, where it says that the vision of a champion is someone who's bent over, drenched in sweat and the point of exhaustion when no one else is watching. I love that quote. And all the young kids back home, and really what that came from, I remember this specifically, is Anson caught her at a little grade school field. She thought she was on her own, no one watching, and she was bent over, had just finished conditioning, and that's what makes a champion. But her book is such a neat, you know, story about her life and how, you know, what her team has meant to her, and really kind of a teaching book about how anyone can become a champion if they put that, you know, the time into it and your heart into your dreams.
She'll have to have another chapter if she scores again, but we'll wait on that. 87th minute. 3-0 USA, and you know they'll be looking again as much as they can for Mia Hamm. They know they've got the game won. Here is Chastain. Lilly broken up. Fair is over on the far side. USA on the ball, 87th minute. Normally in situations like this, Chastain has 2 goals. They'll be setting her up to try to get the hat trick too. So they've got some loyalties there too. But everybody would love to see Mia get the record. and then forget about it. Then no more media questions for her.
That's right. And then just let her go and see how many more goals she can score in her career. The record's held by long retired Italian Elisabeta Vignotto. So once she breaks that mark, there's going to be no catching her.
Off the quick throw in from Roberts. Fotopolous to the outside. You could see what Lilly was trying to do, juke on that ball to get possession, but it was clear.
The thing I love about Christine Lilly is every time the ball comes to her, she gets the ball. She throws a deceptive move, which buys her time, and the kids that watch her should pick up on that. That's a great learning lesson for anybody. If you throw a little fake, you're going to buy time. All of a sudden, you've got all the time in the world to make the right decision on the ball.
Scurry will clear it up. Ferris to the left. 88th minute. USA leading by 3. 2 by Chastain, 1 by Mia Hamm, which tied the world record. 107 and counting. Holland back with it. They've had so little in the way of possession here in the second half. I think their coach would agree, at least at this point, they played far better than the other night, at least for 90 minutes. We're almost there now. The other night, he said they played a good 60. 45 in the first half, and then the first 15, and then they broke down.
Well, there's so much that they'll be able to take out of this match. There's no question that the match is going to make them a better team. When you're playing against one of the best teams in the world, you can learn so much from not only the team efforts, but also the individual efforts.
Here's Roberts going outside. Hamm is there too. Roberts, good strong run. It's still in play. Here's Hamm at the end line, and that was blocked. In the box, USA still with it. Fair launches it, far post, headed away by Holland. Pearce will give her the chase on the far side. Towards MacMillan. Shannon MacMillan with 3 goals and an assist in the last couple of games. She's earned Tony DeCicco's notice, certainly. And she's one of the players that could get into the starting lineup depending on that formation. Another corner kick for the U.S.
She has been playing very, very well, and the passion is back in her game, and that was one of his goals at the beginning of residency, is to get a player like MacMillan, you know, back to her top playing level. Now the key is getting her on the field.
Hamm will take the corner. She'll drive it across the header off the top of the crossbar, and this one goes over again. That was close. Fawcett coming through.
Here's a look from the keeper cam, a flick by Fawcett, and hits the crossbar. Fotopolous was on the backside, but just couldn't settle it down to get it back on the face of the goal.
Joy Fawcett headed for another full 90. Tremendous stamina. A minute of stoppage time to be put on here as we're in the 90th minute. USA leads 3-0 over Holland on the road to Pasadena. Just a few more games coming up. Here's Fotopolous. And that's going to be cleared away. Another throw in from the near side. Roberts. Lilly. Fotopolous, a quick one. You know, she saw that near post, just a slight amount of room that the keeper's given her. That's where she was going.
And I loved how she organized behind Lilly. Lilly had 2 players on her. She organized very close support behind her for a quick one-touch shot. That's good team organization.
She's the one that broke the collegiate scoring records of Hamm and Milbrett. Not only did she break them, she shattered them. And who knows, she might be able to do it internationally.
She's got a long future ahead of her, that's for sure.
And it's really just beginning with this team. Nearly a minute gone in stoppage time. A whistle for that foul. Down is MacMillan. Restart coming up. Overbeck is ready. Will she get it off, though, before Rich Grady says time's up? Carla sends it inside. Fotopolous is going for it! There's her strength in the air as Rich Grady looks at the watch. Fotopolous almost gets the USA's 4th goal, and someone pays the price inside the box.
Fontol is paying for that, you're right.
And Rich Grady calls an end to the game anyway. USA wins it 3-0. Mia Hamm didn't get 2, but she got 1 that ties the world record. What a day this was for Mia Hamm. She also had 1 assist. As we go to break, you will watch Mia in action. This is the record-tying goal. When we come back, we'll try to chat with this superstar. Stay with us.
I'm a student. And Six Flags Great America says, add up the value and save big with our huge season pass deal. Buy a 4-pack now at Dominic's for just $58.99 per person and get unlimited visits and unlimited rides on the new Raging Bull. Visit just twice and save. Buy now, get a free visit for a friend. See 2 concerts, 2 special events. Visit any other Six Flags park. Add up your free value pack savings. You save hundreds. Hurry to Dominic's now for your Six Flags Great America Season Pass. But to get all this value, you gotta buy before May 16th.
With the year 2000 approaching, we're trying to make sure the software here at Sports Center is Y2K compliant.
Y2K test in 3, 2, 1.
Oops.
More from the NBA and an NFL trade right after this.
We still have a few bugs to work out, but we'll be ready.
Follow me! Follow me to freedom!
Brought to you by your Chicago area Dodge dealers. Test drive the future. The new Dodge.
I just tried to relax myself and do the best I could, and I scored, and we won, and it was our first win. Yeah, that was a great feeling. I'm Leo Cullen. Have you seen me?
See him Saturday at 2 on ESPN2.
There's only 3 things that you got to remember when you're shining the cup. It's this: wax on, wax off, wax on. That was a trick question. You don't leave the wax on. There'd be a buildup.
Good morning, Miss Foudy. How are you feeling today?
Good, thanks.
Deep breath. Let me just check one more thing.
Are you ready for Women's World Cup soccer?
Body shoot! Go!
Brought to you by Bud Light.
Reflex is good.
Today's USA versus Holland match has been brought to you by Bud Light, official beer of the U.S. women's national soccer team. And by United Airlines. Rising is a daily commitment to make flying more civilized. United is rising.
Welcome back to Chicago. We're joined now live by Mia Hamm. International goal 107. You're tied for the record. How's it feeling right now?
It feels pretty good. I think, you know, I've been struggling for a while, but 3 games, 3 goals. I'm happy with that. And, you know, 107, this is exciting. It's exciting to be here at a World Cup venue and see the fan support that we got and the fact that they could see it. I was hoping to get 108, but, you know, in time.
Yeah, you want this record to be gone with, don't you, before the Women's World Cup? And you got a great chance next Saturday in Orlando versus Brazil.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I want to get focused on what we need to do. And I'm really trying not to think about it, but a lot of questions are asked about it. And, you know, so obviously someone thinks it's important.
We certainly do. Mia, congratulations. Hope to get the record in Orlando. We'll be there with you. Mia, great game. Send it back upstairs to JP and Wendy.
Thank you very much, Rob. The USA with another good, solid performance. They win it by the score of 3-0 over Holland. Chastain gets 2 goals, and Mia Hamm, as Rob said, gets her record-tying 107th international goal. And she still has a few games left before the World Cup comes your way, and a chance to break that record. And who knows, maybe it will be next week. Join us for that action next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern as the USA takes on Brazil live from Orlando, Florida. Meanwhile, up next on ESPN2 is the Incredible Dog Challenge presented by Purina. For Wendy Gebauer and Rob Stone, I'm John Paul Della Camera. We thank you for joining us today from Soldier Field in Chicago. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.com. So long, everyone, from Chicago.
To the city of big shoulders come the incredible